Hi, Get Unstuck Nation. So please welcome my special guest again, who is very important to me, and I always look up to him all the time. I have been looking forward to interview him today, and yeah, it's my honor to interview here as well. So, Dr. Harit, Assistant Professor Dr. Harit Intakanok used to be Associate Dean of International Affairs of Khon University. Not only that, he is a serial entrepreneur who has businesses in real estate, international trade in garment industry, online retailing, business in B2C and B2B in health industry as well. He also a podcast host called Dr. Harit and an author of best-selling book ก็เขาไม่ได้สอนผมในโรงเรียน Welcome to Get Unstuck Radio today ค่ะพี่ซัน
Hi, Normal Meow. Has been looking forward to this, for a long time, and seen your progress, since you started, would like to congratulate, with what you are doing, helping people, helping entrepreneurs to reach their dream. I think it's awesome. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, it's all started because of you, so I give you the credit on that. I appreciate you.
No. Too kind. Yeah.
Let's start from the topic that we were discussing about. You told me that you think that educational system worldwide are failure to finding, anyone true self. Can you elaborate on that?
I think the topic that when you invited me and we were thinking about what kind of topic we were going to discuss, because looking at your audience and my audiences, like your audience are mainly entrepreneur, SME, right? They're trying to make it big, and trying to organize themselves to make sure that they reach their goal for themselves and also for their employees as well, and of course serving the customer. I look at myself when I was young, how education, teach me things, or how my family or the whole society was teaching me this image of going to school, get a good grade, study well, listen to your teachers, lecturer, get a good degree, and then jump into a corporate ladder or whatever, make more money, buy more houses, cars, and things. And I kind of fell into that, when I was young, I wasn't a bright kid, I would never envisage, graduating PhD from Durham University and getting, assistant professorship and publish books or journals, etc. Never. I was like stupid kids, love sports, always get bad grades, fail, when I was really young. And then the trigger point was when my mom decided to send me to the UK when I was like 12. Maybe I was, getting too naughty for her, and she just want to send me away or something. And something changed inside of me, got bullied a bit, fight a bit, different culture, culture shock, change and move without parents. And I thought to myself, hey, I need to put myself together here. But and I just went through, bachelor degree, master, PhD. But I was never into education. Although I graduated with high degree, I wasn't all that into education. I thought it was just a tool or something for me to please my parents and also get accepted by society mostly. So I hated school, although I did okay, but I hated it, and what I get from it was, the feeling that everything was in the box, although some of the things that school did or I did at school was great outside the box, but I'm an 80s kids, and and school today I think has changed a little bit more, become more creative, etc. But certainly school didn't teach me to be entrepreneur, and I ended up being a scholar for quite a few years. But on the back of my mind, I always, like even when I was young, I would be selling things and doing, different things, and wanting to be a business person. But graduated with a PhD doesn't help at all. When I come out and start doing my own business, I've learned it the hard way that, degrees doesn't matter how great it is, in real life. I mean, it does help, but it's not the whole, it's not the full solution, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And until when you realize that this is what you want to pursue further as entrepreneur?
Well, when I got into being a scholar, although I like part of it, but I don't like many part of it, in terms of, the independence and, and other things. And of course, uh, the money as well, the lifestyle is different, So I started to do my own business sideways, part-time. But what I found, I was struggling a lot, um, first few businesses that I started with was because I was scholar. First thing I did, I opened a school, to language school. Yeah, I got some good connection, good partnership, got some good student coming to to learn from us, but it didn't work out that well because when my partner, who was English teacher, want to move on, want to do something else, we kind of argue and don't get good enough people in. The trend of the student would like to study to go and take an exam, but what I wanted was to change the perception. So yeah, it didn't work out. I opened a restaurant. It worked out okay, get some money from it. What I was so tired, like having to stay up so late. What else? I rent a motorbike, a big bike, a sport bike, and I had some problem with the insurance company. Some people stole my bike. I did many things, yeah. Um, but what I've learned from it was that what I did, it was all mine, and then whether I fail, whether it was succeeding, I enjoy the process. But I learned the hard way, I found it more exciting comparing to the scholar life, I think. So that's why a few years ago, I quit, uh, my day job, which was a scholar, and I turned into a part-time speaker, a lecturer. I'm still doing it today, and I enjoy that part of it. Having to teach kids, young people. I enjoy that, but now I run, real estate business, and I have uh, import export business of healthcare, set up online shops, Shopee, Lazada, through my website, things like that, and have a bunch of staff. I enjoy that a lot more, but I have learned, it took me a few years, around 5, 6 years until I, become more profitable and everything start walking and running. And I learned it the hard way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
So when you started let's focus on your e-commerce one, the online
Mhm.
retailing business. When you
Mhm.
started that, is that the first one that you started alone by yourself without partner?
Not the first one that I started alone by myself. As I said, I've done restaurant and coffee shop. That was all by myself. But I
Mm-hmm.
found it fit my lifestyle. I could have made it to fit my lifestyle where I could have hired a manager and do it so that I don't waste a lot of energy to it. But a physical shop didn't fit me. Because of I had problem of corruptions. From staff. You know, problem with stocks, etc. And have to kind of like, although I'm not there, for example, the restaurant closes around 9 or 10 at night, the time that I should be relaxing, maybe 7 or 8, reading, whatever. I always, think about restaurant, and it didn't fit me. So I kind of shut it down, but it made some money, but not worth the headache. So I kind of shut it down. The online business then become because of that. Then I start to think, because the trend about 8 or 9 years ago was changing as well. In Thailand, about 5-6 years ago, online shopping started to, be more acceptable. Thai people 10 years ago, I would say people would be scared about buying online. This might be surprising for, UK people or US people, but even in the UK, when I remember when I was really young, when eBay starting up, or Amazon starting up, people questions about, hey, if I use my credit card, is someone going to steal it? And problem of, am I getting, the product that I want, etc. Things like that. Happen the same in Thailand, but it's people starting to accept. So I thought, close restaurant, coffee shop, what I do? Then I started on online business. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good place because at that time you were at the point of like early adopter. Like not many people are in the market just yet, not many competitors just yet, so you can become like the tall one to the mass market.
Yes. Yeah, but with that, the problem with that is you don't have anyone to be your example. Right now is a recommended shop, a top one on health, top one in healthcare, in Shopee, Lazada. But at that time, there wasn't many around. The only thing that I can do was look at the UK market, in the US market. I would look at the shop, and I've learned from the people that are successful from Amazon and eBay. I would go on YouTube to look at clips, people that teach about online, retailing, and I would take some online courses, things like that. But this come after many businesses that I just jump in without asking anyone, without, finding out, it's just like, I want to do it. So I'll do it. Maybe I'll, go and look at this place, that place, read a little bit online, but wasn't for on, finding out or make some plan, which is maybe a good or bad thing. I think we need to balance between thinking too much or doing too much, or doing too quickly. But of course, like you providing a consultancy, I think that's very important because with my online and real estate and garment, I have people that done it before. Maybe not exactly the way I do it, but I have mentors, the guys, the older guys that have done it, and someone to call and what do you think about this, and it works. But right now I don't have any partnership. My real estate is fully on my own, import export fully on my own. But the garment one, I have a good partnership with two of my best friends, and that's worked fine. But that is after a lot of heartache and headache with the wrong partner, with the wrong kind of businesses.
Yeah. So what are the difference between doing it as a solo business owner versus having a partners or partnership style?
Well, first thing is everything is on you, right? If you mess it up, it's on you. You can't really blame anyone. Although when you started it, you will always like try to blame someone, blame supplier, blame the customer. They don't like it because they don't have this. You blame anyone. You blame your own staff. But yourself. The first thing I've learned is uh, best thing is to blame yourself. Not blame yourself, but look at yourself first. Analyze in terms of what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. If your staff is right like this or like that, it's mainly because of you. In terms of partnership, there's benefit to it as well, not only a bad thing. I had bad partners, and I have a really good partner right now. Good partner can bring in knowledge, know-how, can bring in motivation when you needed it, and you do the same for them. So I would say it depends on your personality as well, your exception of your own personality and your partner personality. I think personality for me is very important. Yes, knowledge, know-how, everything else so important, but personality come first. If personality match, then we think about other things, for me anyway. But my main businesses now are solo, basically me, myself, and my staff. And I like to continue it to be that way. I like it more, in terms of everything is on me. And yeah, so yeah.
So since um, you are the solo owner of your businesses, so let's say, how do you manage your time to operate all of these? You have many though.
I've learned this a lot during the last 2 or 3 years. I've have not worked as much in terms of having to be in the company. I travel all the time, have a really great life. What I've learned is you gotta learn to be able to let go. First thing. But letting go, there's a good way of letting go and bad way of letting go, because I had a few staff. Actually, one is in jail. Who stole from me. I trust them too much. I've learned it the hard way. Yeah, seriously, I lost a lot of money with my staff because I was trying to, because I do many things. At that time, I was still a lecturer, speaker, and my business was growing bigger. I didn't want to let go of that because I was acknowledged. I go speak places, I travel everywhere, invited to Singapore, Japan, etc. Get paid for everything, and it was good because I was a proper scholar. I published a book with Realestate. I did my research, I got my assistant professorship, etc. That part was good as well. So I fly a lot. But my business side wasn't as strong as that side. It was starting, it was growing. Yes, it was getting bigger. Online business was growing bigger. So I tried to let go by just letting my secretary do this thing, my manager do that thing, without setting up a proper system to double checking on each other. I was weak at that time. I didn't pay enough attention. I thought, yeah, we're selling well, we have customer, we do this, we do that, it's going well, we make lots of money. But sometimes making lots of money doesn't always mean a successful business. I've learned that because you might be bringing in a lot of money, but you don't know that your boat is sinking. You have a hole without realizing it, because you always focus on the sale, right? You always focus on the number. Yes, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. Wow. But you forget, what about your stock? What about your costs? The cost that you don't realize, the depreciation of your machineries, your partner, in terms of the manufacturer or supplier, is actually doing some kind of dealing with your salesperson, your purchasing manager is talking to them, getting percentage. You're not realizing that you're buying more expensive than you should have. Because like I buy materials, for example, this month, January, I buy from this, company. By the time it's June, 6 months later or 3 or 4 months later, this company is actually playing something on me by working with my purchasing manager. The market in terms of materials might have reduced the costing already, but I've flew around. I didn't check, and I'm buying expensive materials. Instead of saving some money by double checking, my purchasing department, etc. Yeah, just things like that, and some other things like I'm shipping out 2,000-3,000 packages per month. Some months, really busy months, like upwards 3,000-4,000-5,000 packages. Now, what about the one with return? What about the one sometimes they send to customer? For example, they should send 50 units, 50 pieces of something. They only send 49 or 48, and customer, complain back, but I don't have the time to check, and they sort itself out between them. And yeah, just like little details like that, letting go is something that you learn to do, but you got to learn to do it carefully, and you have to set up a structure. You know all about that, to be able to to manage everything when you are not there.
Yeah, I think this is something that I always say. So here, and anyone who listening to here, they all know that our community, Get Unstuck community, we support to have the business that support your lifestyle. That's totally true. However, when you have a lifestyle business, you have to have the structured business along the way. So what Pisan just mentioned is about before he can let go, he should have the concrete operation system first, that he can see crystal clear of who exactly gonna doing what and how to check things from anywhere where he is easily. Not like have to sit down and look at it, like reading too many details by yourself. Am I correct? Because if you see something that like notify to you right away, it would be easier for you, that not wasting so much time in that sense.
Yes, but I think first thing is, the hardest thing is to learn to let go. I was forced to let go. I was forced because my main occupation at the time, a scholar, lecturer, take up a lot of time, but I wanted so much to do business, that I started business when I did not have a lot of time, I like to do many things. So when I started my own business, I felt luckily enough, I get up, because one of the things that was my motivation was, I was told by my mom, that, or even my dad, that although they are entrepreneur, they are business owner, they always say to me that they don't want me to be doing businesses. They want me to be a professional, professor, lecturer, and go on to other things like maybe politics, that kind of thing. They were pushing me that way, and they always say, your personality type wouldn't be successful in business. So I was kind of, that had that feeling of, I will show you, that I can do everything. So when I fail in my business, it kind of feel me more that, hey, I need to prove people wrong. And learning to let go is first thing. I was forced to let go, to not be able to having me do everything, because I didn't have enough time. I had to do something else. So I had to hire someone. I had to get some help to do it. First thing, to learn to let go. I think that's a lot of problem with my friend as well. Their business is not bigger because they are not letting go. They would say, of course, you can do everything yourself better to start with. But right now, I can tell you, my own businesses, I have a purchasing manager that so much better than me. Like, I would never be able to do her job. I have a packer, I have a stock manager that so much better than me. I don't know how they do it, with their, all the tools that they're using. I have graphic designer. Yeah, they're all better than me at their jobs, but you got to get to that point by first letting go, get someone in and trust them enough to let them do their own job as well, you know. But of course, as I said, you know, just be warned, something you cannot let go lightly. You should set up a system. Yeah, yeah.
What about who was your first hire then?
My first hire, she is my manager now. Uh, my first hire. Okay, so when I started my first business, I just need someone with management skill. So I hire someone with a management skill to help me to do with basic things like, well, actually everything, you know, purchasing, contact this person, that person. So it's one person, but uh, that person is gone now. Now I have the manager that have been staying with me for last 6-7 years, and you know the turnaround my business was a purchasing manager. So she, when I started online, I was, you know, looking for someone to help me to look at the products, to find a good and cheap products that I can compete online. And then I hire her to contact bunch of factory, you know, and in Thailand. But I contacted the factory all over the world myself. I was doing a lot beforehand. I was doing myself, you know, and then we got some good products. And the second hire, I actually hired two, like one first month, second month, and then another one was graphics. So graphic person. So he came in to take photos of my products. Although the first few months we didn't hire a graphic person, we just do it ourselves. But you know, it did look professional, and we thought this is a key success factor for online retailing. You know, the photo, the video, you know, because they see the package first, right? They don't see our office, you know, they don't see anything. So we hire a graphic person, and that two person grew to, you know, 10, 11, 12. I actually went up to about 20 staff, but actually having too many staff is not also a good thing. I realized it that sometimes when I had a lot of staff, some of them not doing anything during the day, you know. Yeah, the packer would spend time only packing in the afternoon. In the morning, they're just hanging around waiting for the stock team to get everything ready daily. And I was like, this is not right, you know. So I went from two staff doing everything, and everything grew, and then having a lot of staff. At one time, I have like three graphic designer and one programmer, and my salary that I have to pay them was like crazy, you know. And I, after that, you know, I kind of leaned it down and realized that I'm still making the same amount of money with less problem of people, you know. So yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you reduced the team to how many right now? 11?
Right now, only around eight
8.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, for my retailing business, online retailing business, and we ship out 2-3 thousand packages per month. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have done it very well. I mean, see, everyone, I always say that it doesn't mean that you have to keep maximizing, but sometimes you have to keep your business really lean. You have to keep your profit.
Lean. Yes, lean is best. Lean is best. Seriously, lean is best. But be careful. What I want to say, be very careful that if you rely some very important stuff on one staff, that is troublesome as well. So you would agree the system is very important. Right now, I have a clear system of you know, of a graphic designer, what I want from them. For example, if they are not going to be here, I have you know, the backup in terms of outsourcing. Someone can help to replace something that is too important. I would not leave in the hand of a single person. There's always a backup, you know, in each of the work. So everyone will be good at something, like really good at something, but someone else will be able to back that person up if that person up decided tomorrow, hey, I'm going tomorrow. you know, which doesn't, my turnover is very low now. I mean, the staff that are with me has been with me for a few years now, and it doesn't look like they're gonna leave, because the business is getting better and better. But at the beginning, turnover is high. They don't feel like they can rely on the company, that someone go up, someone go down, things like that. And yeah, other things like benefits, like now I give them benefits, holidays, bonuses, party, hangout, new office, new computer, and things like that. And yeah, comes with time.
Yeah, it's always come with time, but it will come eventually. So if you patient enough, everything will happen, right?
True. Yeah, but don't be too patient.
That's also
That's,
true.
I think it's funny, like talking to you is like, yes, but sometimes no, if you're too patient, you're too relaxed. That's not good either. Sometimes I go
Mm.
crazy with my stuff as well. I mean, I'm trying to, like, I read a lot of books, I heard like Steve Jobs go nuts, he's like kind of hot, heated, a Japanese company, Taiwanese company, Korean company. They like fighting each other in the boardroom, but outside of it, it's fine. So a mixture. I think patient, yes, but do not be too patient. At the beginning, I was all fire. I think you need that. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on your leadership style. I would not judge on that. I would ask you this one. What are the difference between in for your own self, between the manager and secretary?
Yeah, different because secretary, I, you know, um, ask them to do everything, a lot of things for me, to make me feel more comfortable, at ease, more efficient in my work. Okay, so that's the job of secretary. But the job of manager is to support, manage the team, my team, my staff, you know. So I always shout at my manager whenever there's problem, whenever there is like conflict or problem, with the work, or employee workers, or day-to-day running of things. I shout at my manager because why you not managing? You know why you not doing your job? But secretary is someone that helped me to be better. Yeah. I don't know whether that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. So it's for your personal part and also for the business part separately, but they both help you manage in that sense.
Yeah. I mean, a personal part. Well, if I perform well, if I, for example, other things like booking flights or doing other things, find out more information that I need. Secretary help that out, and it will help me to to manage my manager better. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah, I do. I do. Many people still confused, like when they so in the online world, for example, like when they are looking for a VA, virtual assistant. I'm not sure have you ever heard about that. Like in the US UK market, I mean in general, they really look for VA, but VA can have any role with under
Mm,
virtual assistant, right? Because they can be assistants but virtually. So they
mm,
might be confused between the first person, do they really need a secretary or they already ready to have a manager? Because in my opinion, if you just started the business and it hasn't been organized, you cannot manage it just yet. Like you yourself might not able to let someone to help you manage because you don't know where to move forward just yet. And as I said
mm,
earlier, like manager salary is not cheap at all, especially the experienced one. And
yeah.
anyone who have managing skill will come in and have the same question. How do you want me to manage, right? Like what are
Yeah.
the workflow look like? How it's gonna be from start to finish. So
Mm,
maybe the first hire seems like for many people just want to have the personal life organized. So secretary might be a good way to start, like personal assistant somehow, like or even their how to say that someone might hiring a chef first because they don't want to think about what to order the food to save time by that sense so that they can focus on the work at the beginning. Yeah, it depends on the priority. Like it really depends on the priority.
Yeah, sure. I mean, depend on the person as well, you know, whether you are motivated. I think to be entrepreneur, you need to be a self motivator. Although there are some entrepreneurs that kind of, get the team, you know, etc. They know that they are not very self motivated person, so they get a team around them. That kind of entrepreneur as well. But either way, you gotta know yourself. I think the main thing is like every hire or every single one that come in to your organization, you know, is a value chain. You know, it's like a chain. You know, you need everyone to help out to work towards your OKR or your objectives or your goals. You know, if not, then it doesn't work. You know, it can be, I don't know. My manager used to pretty much be my secretary as well. Sometimes I would ask her to find some information that got nothing to do with the jobs, but I know she's good at it, so why not help out? And the thing is, people that come in to start with your, you know, like you're starting your own businesses, they have to understand that you are trying to build something. You know, the one that get paid a lot, CEO, CFO, COO, etc. They will have their own condition because, of course, if they have lots of experiences, they don't want to start from scratch, you know, unless they're gonna start their own businesses, right? They want to go into a system where, you know, they have tools, kind of somewhat ready for them to use. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's always come back to self-awareness, right, Pisan? And yeah, that is the very first thing to move forward or evaluate yourself first. So do you have any last word?
Yeah. So anyway, just coming back to, I think we kind of drift a little bit from the title of what we're talking about in terms of education. Why is it not serving? I think two things. I think education, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, you know. But always remember that on paper and in reality, you know, they are always different, you know. And some other people experiences things may not always be the same as how you experience this thing as well. So what I would say is, you know, don't be too scared, go out and try, but don't, you know, like don't jump in the water with 2 feet without testing it. Like I talked to you earlier, like you said, your day job, you might want to keep that first, but also understand you got to work harder, you know, and try different things out and get helps, you know, that 99.99999% of whatever you are thinking or whatever you think you will do, I believe someone done it before. You know, unless you are Elon Musk or, you know, Steve Jobs, you know, even them themselves to start it with, they didn't do anything new, you know. Elon Musk started, you know, changing, you know, phone book to SIP, you know, and then move on to PayPal and things like that. It's something that they just like kind of step up. So last word is, education important, you know, but you got to go and do it, go out and do it, and learn to let go, find help, get the system up and running. And yeah, and that's it. Good luck.
Thank you so much for joining Get Unstuck Radio today, ค่ะพี่ซัน
ครับ thank you ครับ
Hey, thank you for watching this episode. If you enjoy the show, you can subscribe here or here. And this is the previous episode. Check it out. See you next time.